Thank you to RSF1090 for their generous donation on Patreon. If you would like to join them in their generosity, the link to my Patreon page is in the description.
Hey, let me in. I'm a fairy. Don't you believe in fairies?
There's just straight dude out by a door trying to get into this.
He's just staring at us.
And we put a microphone next to him because, you know, he may be crazy, but those are some of the most interesting people to listen to sometimes.
And a man wearing his pants on his head will never lie to you.
Got a point. I mean, that's no lie. He ain't lying about that one.
No, but I'm pretty sure he's not actually a fairy.
I hope not, because then Robin Hood,
Who are you trying to think of? Peter Pan?
Yes.
Robin Williams, Robin Hood.
Well, Robin Williams was in Peter Pan.
Wasn't he also in Robin Hood? A Robin Hood.
Probably. He's been everything and everyone.
Men in tights.
Amen. I don't know. Either way, all I know... Oh.
People, no!
I thought they were coming after us. Anyway, you are listening to all of the above here on KRU, Kansas City, UMKC Student Radio every Thursday from 5 to 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Caleb!
Yes.
What is our question?
Why shouldn't you write with a broken pencil?
Why shouldn't you write with a broken pencil?
He wouldn't let me do a really funny one.
I want to do it, Jacob.
It's funny, but it's bad.
Let me do it, Jacob.
Nope.
It was on a popsicle stick.
Nope.
Come on.
Nope. You're not Captain Falcon me in your way into my heart. You ain't doing it.
Falcon punch.
I saw this one, like a parody ad for like an energy drink called Falcon Punch.
I'd drink it.
It'd be like, and they were like, "You drink it, your head's gonna explode." And then Ness drank it, and then Captain Falcon ran up and punched him in the face, and his head exploded. In a bloody mess. And Lucas was like, "Oh man, I'll drink it," and then boom, and
then everyone drank it.
And then Captain Falcon punched everyone in the head, and everyone's head exploded. Welcome to the show. This mic stand is being obnoxious today.
So far, we've talked about head explosions. We have a crazy man staring at us still.
He's just not leaving. I don't like this.
No one else out there is addressing him either.
Yeah,
which
they're
is
all
freaking me out.
Yeah, they're just sort of sitting there, acting like they know what's going on with their lives. We all know everyone here doesn't know what's going on with their lives. Ain't nobody knows.
I'm just sitting here, undeclared.
Yeah.
Hoping to God that ain't no real fairy.
Yeah, because we got to leave at some point. And he's just... is he even blinking?
Oh, no.
Is that just a... Well, he's not just a... I
don't want to stare at him long enough.
No, let's not. Just put up the hand like, nope. That whole, like, if you're driving on the interstate and you're looking at the car next to you, they start looking, you, like, look the other way. That idiot that's looking the other way. Or you put your hand up and you're just like, oh, I'm scratching my head right by my eye.
With my entire forehead.
Yeah.
I almost said forearm. My entire forearm.
That is a very interesting strategy for scratching, but I got to go in on something, man. It had been bothering me for so long, and it is a central factor into whether or not I'm going to be able to go to where I'm going to be going to school here soon. And you know where I'm going.
I do.
And I've said it before, I am looking to transfer from this school to another school for the spring semester.
My school.
Yes, and the radio show is going to be transferring there. We announced it
we get paid
a couple weeks ago.
It's an actual job.
We're actually getting paid for this. This we are getting paid for. But I am nowhere near the microphone, but I had to turn it up because I can't. Well, it's because my mic stand is so, it won't lean forward like it usually does, so I can't. I think it's this bolt here, actually. Nope. Okay, let's just stop. Let's just, whatever. He's knocking. Just like,
Let me in.
let me in. Oh my God, that sounds so, stop it. Stop. No, we're done. I gotta go. I gotta go in on something, man. But first, I gotta tell you about how you can get in contact with us.
Oh, yeah. If you didn't already save us in your phones, which I did, I don't know why, but I did. I have it like
You're going to text us, Caleb.
Yes, I will text us to make us feel better if you
Yeah.
do not text us.
We have a text line here at the station, 816-287-0090. You can text us, talk to us, make a song request. Probably won't have the song, but we can try to do it for next time. See what we can do, all that type of stuff. Or if you just want to make fun of us or try to answer the question, which, if you don't remember...
Someone already did both of those things. Made fun of us and tried to answer the question.
Yeah, so...
Your mom.
Wait, where?
It was a while ago.
It was a while ago?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, sorry for not addressing that sooner. But yeah, so, your mama. Caleb, is your mama like writing with a broken pencil? Man.
I hope not.
So, I got to go in on something. And like I said, it addresses whether or not I'm going to be able to go to Johnson County for my schooling. The problem that I am having with this semester and with every semester I've been here at this university, and I'm going in on this, I don't care the fact that I'm on the university's radio station, this school has a problem. The anchor discourse classes. Everybody who is in this system, be it the teachers of the discourse classes, the teachers of the anchor classes, and the people who have to sit there and try to work through this muck of a class system, this bunk,
Bonk. We can't say the other word.
all facets of this class, all the people who have to participate in it, everyone does not like it. There is not a single majority faction of the people involved with this that think that this is the right way to go. They tried something new. They were in threat of losing their credibility because they did not have freshman like cohesiveness. If you were like in a 6-year med program and you were after a year were like, I can't do this anymore, you could not drop out and be successful in another field. You couldn't do that here. So their response was this radical change that they thought, well, maybe if they try it out, prove that it works, then other classes, other universities would be able to do so. But lo and behold, no one likes it, and it sucks. No one likes how this is working. This is the basic breakdown for those of you who do not know. Caleb's looking at me like he doesn't know what the heck I'm talking about. I apologize, Caleb, because I'm getting kind of mad right now. It's not going to be good.
Preach it, brother.
Preach it, brother!
Preach.
This system is based on the idea, or at least it was originally supposed to be based on the idea of interdisciplinary discourse between multiple different factions so that people can go crossbreed with different factions and different degrees and still have some sort of respect for the work that is done in each one of those factions. And if you have to move from one to another, or you wish to move from one to another, you can do so without wrecking all of your credits. The way they did this by introducing a new system called the Anchor Discourse System. You, for 3 semesters, if you're an incoming freshman or an incoming whatever, you have to take, and if you've not done anything that qualifies as these credits from other schools, you have to take one each semester, an anchor class and a discourse class. That is 6 hours, just automatic. These are supposed to count as English classes, primarily in the discourse classes, and the anchor classes are cluster courses, usually by different facets of a samey type of degree program, but different facets of it. For example, my first semester, I was in an anchor course that was engineering. There were electrical engineers, mechanical engineers. Nate was in there. He was trying to be a biomedical engineer. But then again, I was in there. What am I? A film and media arts major. There was no denying the fact that, and I was told this directly by my advisor, they had no idea what they were doing putting me in that class. They did not know what the system was. I was trying to be smart, and I went to the first orientation. I got my classes enrolled as soon as possible. And I was punished for this by being put in a class I had no business being in, and if I was not in there with Nate, or if I was not as dedicated to having as good a grade as I wound up having, then I would have been screwed in that class. I was one of only like 2 people who was not an engineer that was in that class. And even the engineers in that class were struggling because the teachers there for the anchor classes are teachers that are there from higher level classes. My teacher in every single anchor class I've ever been in have been teachers who have taught 300, 400, 500 level classes. All these high up classes. They're used to teaching to students that already know what they're doing, to students that already have a basic grasp of the system that they're trying to go into and have put a lot of work into investing in that program. You can't teach the same way to people who are required to be in that class, people who are starting to go in there, and people that may or may not be in that program themselves. They completely ignored the fact that I was in there. I didn't even know who my teacher was. Each time they have 3 teachers, one dedicated to each facet. I did not fit any of the facets, so I had no idea the entire time which teacher I was supposed to be paying attention to. So I had to pay attention to all of them. Now, I may be considered a minority in that class, but in my next semester one was Race and American Film, I was in the majority. I was actually in a class that made sense for me. But I feel like I'm doing like a debate round here.
You kind of are.
Well, I don't have any cards or anything. I'm just...
When did we have cards? No, that's
for
what we called
debate.
that's what we called the pieces. I was thinking like legit cards.
Oh, like business cards or something?
Or like...
like playing cards. Pick your card and I'll prove why you picked the wrong
choose
card.
The spread.
Yeah.
I'm a jerk. Couldn't think of if I could say those words.
Yeah, so in my second semester, I was in Race and American Film. I'm a film and media arts major, makes total sense. However, there were a lot of people in that class had nothing to do with film. A lot of people, a lot more than what I was the minority in my first semester class. I was going to say at least a good third had no idea why they were in that class. They were in there just because they had to be, and I haven't even addressed the discourse classes, but I'll get to those soon because they're a special case, but they are mandatory attachments to the anchor course. Now, my third semester is the one I'm in currently, called the Artist in Society. It is a class meant for conservatory and art history students. Most of us, I would say a good half of us, have no connection nor desire to be in a class like this, but because they seemingly randomly generate all the different topics for the anchor classes each semester during the break. Which is stupid if they wanted to do this as a trial when they should have generated these classes way beforehand, especially since my class is the first class to have done this because of a grandfather clause. A good half of these people have nothing to do with the topic that they're trying to teach. And none of the teachers I've ever had have had a cohesion with each other. My first semester, I had 3 classes, 1 main teacher. He taught for the first half. 2 other teachers taught for the second half. The 2 teachers for the second half held on to a book. They taught out of a book the entire time. The first semester was the only semester where I learned anything because the teacher of that class was a great teacher. He knew how to teach. He knew what he was doing, even though it went over my head a lot of the times because I have no idea what he was talking about a lot of the times. I had to learn. I had to put special attention into it. Dr. Place, amazing teacher. He looks like a Heisenberg from like season 1 after he lost his hair, but I only had the stash plus like 20 years. It was crazy. He was loud. He was funny, but he was smart in the way he taught. The other 2 teachers, no charisma, no credibility almost, just nothing. Second semester, I had 3 teachers. One of them got pregnant like immediately, so she was gone. She got a replacement in another class, but not in this one. And it was reduced down to 2 teachers, one of which was an English teacher, one of which was the Dean of Communications. What? Not the Dean of Communications, the Chairman of Communications. And both of those teachers were from especially the Chairman of Communications. High-level classes, what is he doing in here? It broke down to watch a movie, say something about the movie. That's all it was.
Doesn't seem like they're used to it. Like, my English teacher is the head of our fiction writing department. And
yeah.
I'm still grasping what the fuck's going on.
What the funk?
Yep.
Yeah, he did say funk, so in case.
That's why I went down.
Yeah, he said funk. Like, getting funky. But anyway, so...
Things you can't say on the radio.
The third semester, though, these 3 teachers, the one I'm currently in, these 3 teachers have no cohesion. None whatsoever. There is one that's a dance teacher, and she has her section. All the dancers sit next to each other, and she talks to them. That is it. She talks to her students. That it makes up like maybe a 4th, more like a 5th of the entire school and the entire class. She talks only to them, and the second teacher is a visual arts teacher that I've been told is usually good, but she's a very strict grader. She has a weird accent that's no fault of hers. Like, she can't just be like, turn it off, turn it on, whatever. I'm a voice actor, she's not. But she is very obnoxious when it comes to dealing with criticism. She posted a video of like question responses on YouTube, which is an interesting idea and one that makes sense to me. So I went on there and I commented something I thought would be funny. Like, the video had no soundtrack, but I was listening to it muted. And it had black text on a bright yellow background. So I thought it'd be funny to be like, well, these are pretty good answers, but black on yellow, really? You know, just something stupid like that. And she commented back like, well, if you want to take care of this and you want to do this, you go ahead and do it. I mean, I'll send you with the stuff and maybe things will be like good with the crowd. I'm like, whoa. I was just trying to joke.
She was trying to jump ship pretty quick.
She was trying to pass it off on me because I was apparently criticizing her or something, and it was crazy.
Surprised you didn't go with DOS.
Yeah.
Black on green, or green on black.
Yeah, and then the third teacher, this wretched white man.
What?
Wretched white man. I don't like this guy. He's incredibly rude, but good at responding to emails unless it's over the weekend. Then you get like this auto emails, I'm not in the office, blah, blah, blah. It's dumb. But
He's sitting in his office like,
yeah. He's like the banker in the Country Bears movie. Anyway.
references.
Yeah. So, freaking, and a movie reference.
Yeah.
They're coming from me. Not bad, right? But anyway, so these three teachers have no cohesion. By the way, the wretched white man is the music aspect of it. They have a dancer, a visual artist, and a music one. And they're requiring us, on top of teaching this nonsense in their class that has nothing to do with the overarching goal, they require us to go to 5 art events. And we tried to take care of this, but going to the Nelson Atkins Museum would not have counted as an event for me.
What?
Yeah.
Would you have to go to
like something
West
being
Bottom when they were
I'd-
having fairs and crap?
We'd have to go to something where an event was happening. We couldn't just go and experience art for what it is. We have to go to like a performance or a lecture or some sort of something that was happening specifically. That was just happening. I went to like a trombone recital. It was good for a trombone recital, but I would not have chosen to go there.
I went to a jazz.
Yeah.
As
Then there's going to be like lectures by artists that I'm going to have to go to, and we have to write responses to those events, and then for quizzes, at first they would start to put the quiz at the beginning of the lecture because that way you can teach about things, and they would never address the readings in class. They would post the readings like a day before class would start. If that.
was this like the one where you had to read about a dancer and whatnot?
Yeah, this is the same class. And they would post it like right before class, not address during class, have a quiz over the stuff, and then teach extra stuff on top of it. And all of the exams would be stuff cumulative of those readings. So even if you didn't do it for the quiz, you have to do it for the exam. And there was no like in-class incentive to do it other than the quizzes. So they would start to do them at the beginning of class after you'd sign in, do the quiz, and a lot of people would just leave after that. Because all they would do in class is read from slides. And all the slides were completely different. Each teacher would get up there and try to do slides, and they'd try to incorporate videos and try to do. But no, you can tell when people are faking it, and they were doing it so horrendously bad. It's just a horrible experience is that.
When a visual art teacher uses yellow on black
Yeah.
text, yeah, you can tell they checked out.
Yeah, so on top of that, so for the quizzes, they started to move them like 50 minutes into the lecture out of an hour and 15-minute class. So if you had left at the beginning, like you check in and then leave, then you missed the quiz.
Gotten like a drink, maybe a sandwich came back.
Yeah, if you checked out to do something in the middle of it, too bad for you. Also, sometimes if you check in and they notice you leave mid-lecture, they have said that at times they have counted people as being totally absent if they leave mid-lecture, which is so wrong. One of the best features about college is that you don't have to ask to leave. If you're willing to make the sacrifice of like missing a certain amount of in-class context to something, or if they take attendance, if you miss that, for something, you can do that and try to work around it because you're an adult that's expected to do that. And college professors usually don't give a crap because you're already paid for. However, in this class, they take attendance and then they do that. And sometimes this one guy, this was like a couple days ago, we had a quiz and then one guy started to leave. And the teacher who was giving the lecture said, just because the quiz is over doesn't mean you can leave. And he's like, I got to go do stuff, and left. And then she went on this tirade about leaving after the quiz and that there's more to learn in the class than just blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you are not teaching anything that's not on the slides. You are not engaging with the student body whatsoever. You're not doing anything to entice us to stay except for mandating it by these quizzes, which are stupid to begin with because they're overreadings that are never addressed in class. And unless they're like, if anyone read the readings, they'd get this. Maybe people just don't feel like raising their hand to answer some stupid question because all the questions are freaking stupid. And all the quizzes almost are always like either opinion or so specific that if you didn't read like a specific thing, you're getting it wrong. And another part is that you are assigned a specific teacher for this class. Each teacher grades completely differently. For a midterm, we had 3 questions, huge essay questions. One was graded by one teacher, one was graded by another, one was graded by another. You would do great on a teacher that grades fairly, and for an equally good answer, you'd be graded poorly because of it. One huge example of this, our latest quiz was over an artist who incorporates fabric into their art. We had a reading about this person, but we had a quiz uncharacteristically at the beginning of class. Not really at the beginning, but more like within 20 minutes of the class starting. And no one read the reading. People don't read the readings. Even people who read the readings do bad on the quizzes. Read the readings, do bad on the quizzes. There's a girl in my discourse class, and I'm getting to those soon. She sits next in between 2 other people. Person on their right has one teacher, person in the middle has another, person on the left has another. They all said practically the same thing. Neither one of them said anything about fabric. They get their quizzes back. One person has a 0.9 out of 1 instead of 90% out of 100 because that's too complicated. The person in the middle got a 1. Person on the right got a 0.3. They said the same freaking thing. And my quiz, a huge example of that. I said nothing about fabric. I came up with some bullcrap answer, had nothing to do with it, and then I got a 0.9. She literally wrote on my paper, she underlined one thing I said, and then from the question circled the word material, because the question was, what material does this artist use? The answer was fabric. She just circled the thing, put an arrow down to the bottom of the page where I hadn't written, wrote fabric, and I got 90%. I don't understand. I don't understand the supposed logic in that.
Get out of my class.
So,
Pass and get out of my class, basically.
yeah. And so, for the sake of time, the discourse classes. The discourse classes are taught by teachers who are unfortunate enough to have to take time out of their schedule to deal with this. All they hear is people complaining about their anchor courses because there's nothing to do but complain about it. And then these teachers are not paid for the collaborative effort they have to put forth into coordinating these discourse classes with the anchor courses. They are not paid for that time. They are not paid for that effort. That is a labor problem. That is inherently sickening that they would do that. The fact that these people from the top down tried to increase their bucks by trying to implement this fashion thing, this new system that's trying to be so freaking popular and new, trying to be so cool, literally, while doing all this, while trapping students because these credits don't transfer all that well. That's how it relates back to this Johnson County thing. I am still in dispute with the fact that going from Johnson County to UMKC, Comp 1 and 2 transfers as Discourse 1 and 2. However, going from UMKC to Johnson County, they are still trying to decide whether or not Discourse 1 and 2 counts as Comp 1 and 2. It goes in one way, maybe not another, because it's so complicated and so convoluted. They are abusing the teachers, wrecking the students' credits. It will eliminate the credits that they have if they try to leave, locking them into some stupid thing because they're trying to pretend like they're a man in a sewer in a glass-bottom boat. They're in this crap, but they're clearly above it, so much so that they can't even be afforded to deal with it. And if that's the case, and it is, someone should forcefully glue their mouth to their butt so they may truly, indeed, illustrate that they suck ass at their job. That is my case against this thing. I'm done. Music time. I could say more, but I'm not gonna, because, you know, I don't want to die at 30. My heart pumping in my face, and Caleb looks like he's not having the time of his life or anything. He's just uncomfortable.
Debating whether I want to die at 30.
Yeah. What, would you argue with me, or would you get mad at this too, or what? Why?
This does, just because debating forensic students for, I was 4 years, basically.
Mm-hmm.
The labor problem seems something that should have been addressed by the teachers' union. I don't know if you have one. I constantly get reminded we have one because one of my teachers is the head of the teacher union.
I have no idea.
That should have been debated with the teachers' union being paid for that, which would have incented the teachers, especially apparently the anchor teachers, to do a better job.
Yeah.
The transferring credits is downright ridiculous, because especially if you're trying to get this so other colleges will adopt it, if they do not transfer well.
Yeah.
Well, you're basically wasting people's time and money. So you if you got a good enough lawyer, you could probably put in a good enough effort to get refunded. But I know lawyers where other people would be like, just do what he says. He will pull up anything you ever did, ever.
Yeah.
He knows what underwear you wearing and how many people you had sex with. And
We even got a text about this. Someone texted in on this topic. Sorry to interrupt.
yeah, go ahead.
Someone said, I need my glasses for this because I can't pull the microphone down. They said, my university does this too. I'm a biology major, and next semester I have to take a religions course, and if I don't graduate. Not to mention they treat me like a math major, which for my own field, I tested out of the need for mathematical credits. But it's the same problem. I have to take these ridiculously hard mathematics classes, or I don't graduate.
Well, that does suck, personally. I hate math.
Yeah.
The religion class, I kind of get, because some schools make you do a religion or ethics.
Yeah, and
class.
this text is coming from Ottawa, Kansas, which if they are taking, God dang it, stop it.
Nothing is working.
This mouse has been screwed up for years. If educated guess here, if you're coming from Ottawa, then Ottawa University, that is a religious-based school.
Yeah.
But a lot of colleges require humanities or something like that. But that is not.
I am currently taking.
Yeah, they're not restricted to religion. So there's a case to be made for the religion, but math, it's a very complicated subject. And as far as what colleges require and all that, they can just get away with anything at this point.
You tested out of it? Well, we're not quite sure about your competency.
Yeah, seriously. You tested out of it based on a test that we made you take, and we're supposed to be credited to it, but we're not going to trust the results because, we didn't totally have everything to do with what made it so trustworthy to begin with.
You could have just been guessing.
Yeah. You can, yeah, totally.
But I understand the frustration. I tested out of a few classes, and I am taking those classes.
Yeah.
As well.
So, and as far as this anchor discourse thing, It frustrates me heavily.
Well then, let's get to music, and then we'll talk about happier things in the
Yeah.
next.
I'm going to play one song because we don't have much time. Alpha Cat, he does an Obama impersonation on YouTube. It is great, and sometimes he does music. So this is a Love on Top spoof by Barack Obama. Thank you for listening to all of the above here on KRU Kansas City, UMKC Student Radio, every Thursday from 5 to 7 p.m. I'm going to get some cholesterol pills, and that's Caleb.
I'm gonna make sure his pupils aren't dilated, and
So, thank you all for listening. Have a good one.
I don't really. Oh,
I did it again. I did it
can't
again.
do that.
I can't do that? Saying I can't do something?
Yeah.
Didn't I just go off on a tangent about stuff that I have to do? Oh, well. That was probably the most exhilarated I've ever gotten on this show. Like, I did a whole show on Free Keach, and even then I did not get as upset as I did just now. So you have an article, huh?
do.
You gonna say something?
I'm flipping through. My computer decided not to connect to anything, so I have to use my phone.
Yeah.
I just have the small little tidbit, and then we can discuss it. It has
Mhm.
pictures of the people and whatnot.
All right.
Teenager jailed after stabbing a girl in the face and smashing another's head against a fence because they called him Harry Potter.
What? Whoa, what?
Yep. He stabbed someone in the face and smashed another one's face into a fence because they called him Harry Potter. And the one who got stabbed looks like she got stabbed right at the beginning of the jaw, like near your neck, beginning of the jaw. And the girl who got her face smashed, it looks like he did it more than once.
I'm looking at pictures now and what? Oh, your phone is weird. Hold up. Oh, okay, I figured it out. There we go. One, the guy looks like just a pale nerd. Obviously a sociopath or something. Obviously a sociopath. He's just kind of messed up. Geez, that stab is that's no joke of a stab. Was it a stab or a slice?
The article said it was a stab.
The article said it was a stab, but if you look at the wound, it doesn't look like it went all the way through the cheek.
They might have sealed it before they took a picture.
Maybe. I mean, the girl's crying. And then slammed the face into the... God dang.
They took that picture while they were applying ointment? Not ointment. Probably sterilizing wounds.
Jeez. I mean...
He went kind of ape crap on them.
Wow. I mean... that just makes me uncomfortable. You talk, I can't.
It's just it's one of those things you got to be careful when you talk to strangers, really.
Yeah, that's something you've said to me multiple times. Or not said to me, but like said in general in my... Well, I've heard you say it multiple times that you can't just be going around yelling at people or saying random things to people because you don't know how they're going to react.
There's always... Strangers can be one of two things, a friend or an enemy, and you have no idea what they're going to do.
Yeah.
And especially, this is serial killers and sociopaths tend to be white people, not going to lie. So
Yeah.
White men around 30 seem to be the majority of that group.
Mm.
Which is why I've always wondered, why do people rob that? When, like, I've always seen that, like, someone gets robbed and it was like, you're a white guy around 30. I wouldn't have robbed you.
Yeah.
I would have been afraid, like, I came up to you and then I was like, give me your money. And you just turned around with a knife, cut yourself, and was like, the gypsy woman told me you would come.
Oh, jeez. That's just... Oh, that's creepy. Yeah, you got to be careful out there, man. I can't speak to that. I mean, gee, they looked like they were in their teens or maybe early college.
I want to say the dude looked maybe 18 to 20.
Yeah.
And the girls maybe 18, 17.
Yeah, so I'm guessing either late high school, early college. Either way, wanted to make sure your scratch got on microphone. Oh, we can hear it already, man. But yeah, so yeah, that's just. You want to do something else? Because that kind of put me off. I mean,
let me see if I got another.
I mean, either that or we just go right into the epic rap battles because we're halfway through season 2 and season 4. Season 4 should have started either Monday of this week or will start next week. It's either starting really soon or already has started, and I just haven't checked. Of course, I went through my subscriptions. I should have seen it, but I don't know, man. Do you have another one?
I do indeed. It was here in America. Doesn't say where. It was a DEA. It was someone posted this on Facebook on their wall, talking about a DEA officer stopped at their farm. He needed to check to see if they were growing illegal drugs because they got a tip.
Mm-hmm.
He said the person who owned the farm agreed, and he said, just don't go over in that field. And he pointed. And the DEA officer went on a rant like, I'm a federal officer, you can't tell me where to go, blah, blah, blah. And the farmer said, all right. A few minutes later, he heard the officer start to scream. He went over to the field he told him not to go into, and the officer was being chased by a bull.
Yeah.
Oh, and he said, why don't you show the bull your badge? Tell him you're a federal officer.
I like that. It was, it reminds me of a story I heard Ronald Reagan talking about. This is like this rural farmer. He owned a piece of creek bottom land, and it was all messed up and thorns and rocks and whatnot. But one day he just got the itch and he started to go in on it, removing the brush and digging out the rocks, hauling away all this stuff, and started to fertilize the ground and taking care of it and turned it into a garden and it turned into this really nice looking area. And he was very proud of it. So one day after church, he went up to the pastor and he asked him if he wouldn't come by and take a look at it. And so later on in the day, the pastor came down and came to look at it, and he was very impressed. He's like, my goodness, this garden, this area is beautiful. God has really done a lot of good work here, and look at the size of those tomatoes, the height of that corn. God has really blessed this place, and God has done good for this place here. And the old boy starts getting more and more fidgety, and finally just blurts out, Reverend, I wish you could have seen it when God was doing it by himself. It's fun, a little story.
Little story. You need to do things too. I don't know. I'm tired.
Yeah.
I've had an hour nap on top of no sleep.
Yeah. Of course,
Corruption of champions.
Yeah, I was gonna say
you.
You did that to your dang self. I'm not even going.
I blame James for introducing me to that game.
Y'all will meet James sometime soon. James is an interesting character. I've only known him for a little while, but I've come to appreciate him. He's a very funny man.
He's manic depressive and he's generally manic.
Yeah, he's a very interesting character. I like having him around. He's someone I would. It's like when you were dealing with a different people throughout the day, and there are certain people you regard in a certain way, and other people that you would see, like you could possibly see becoming like a part of your regular routine. James is the kind of person I could see, if he was willing, becoming someone that I could see on a near daily basis. Of course, being at the same school as him it's going to be a lot easier. But he's that kind of person. I think. I don't know. I think you would obviously agree because you see him practically every day.
Yeah, really, Thursday is the only time I don't see him.
Yeah, and even then, if he starts showing up here, then just Daily James. Sounds like a mock newspaper, the Daily James. We got this article from the Daily James.
So I think this was funny. One of the jokes that, just because this came out randomly, it was Melissa. You met her too.
Was that the girl with Kyle or?
Darker hair girl. Oh, who was with us?
In the lounge?
Yeah. But anyway, we were sitting talking, and just apropos of nothing, randomly, she was like, she said something about feminizing James.
Uh-oh.
Which was hilarious, just from the look on his face, just like, what? Because we were talking about nothing near the sort or of that kind of topic. And then I just burst out laughing. And it didn't help later on the day we found like one of those stupid like find your anime names things. And his was Pretty Magical Girl. So I've just been calling him that. And he swears that I'm probably going to send him a tutu and a wand at some point.
Oh, that's funny.
So if you hear us talk about a pretty magical girl,
that's probably James. Yeah. Oh, that's nice. I'm checking things and whatnot. But yeah,
checking Raidens and whatnot.
Raidens is in the god of thunder.
Yep. Who protects our realm from Shao.
Shao.
It's the main.
Shao Kahn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never heard anyone just call him Shao.
Shao.
I've heard him be called Khan, Shao Kahn, Shere Khan. That one just doesn't work.
No.
That's completely different. That's
a different dude.
That's completely different. Although I heard they were remaking the Jungle Book. Did you hear about that? They're remaking the Jungle. Well, I thought you were the one that told me that the remake.
They remade it a couple of times.
Well, they remade it a couple times, but like Disney.
Oh, Disney's remaking it?
Yeah.
Oh. No.
Apparently, I mean, I thought you were the one that told me about it. So
no.
all I've done is heard about it. I haven't looked it up at all yet.
I like the Prima. I wanna be like you.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just his songs always make me smile, even though he's an orchestra band.
Yeah.
He sings sometimes, but
yeah,
most of his songs are just orchestra.
Yeah. Well, speaking of
Louis Prima, not Freddie Prima is a different person.
Yeah, that's completely different. I mean, we didn't really get to hear a lot of songs last time, so we can start going in on that and then come back with the epic rap battles right before our bunk buster section. Would you like to do that? Sound good to you?
Yeah.
And because you mentioned him, probably should play one of his songs.
We gonna play that song?
I mean, it's the only song I got. I mean, where are you? There we go.
One of my favorites.
Why aren't you popping up? I got this stuff organized, but it's just not doing it. Is it because is it in this? Oh, it is. Get in there. Get in there.
Technical problems, folks.
Yeah, sorry about that.
While he's doing that, I'm just gonna say the Love and update on the Love and Lotion.
Yeah.
It's gone down, and there's now an Annabelle mask with a hole in the mouth, and it's disturbing, and I don't want to touch it.
Yeah.
It's just staring at me. Especially that the Love and Lotion was next to the Annabelle mask when we walked in.
Yeah, and it's propped up, so we cannot ignore this any longer. Of course, we never really were, but either way. All right.
Someone was doing something to a mask, and
yeah. Oh gosh.
Especially that this room is mostly windows.
Yeah. All right. So first thing we're gonna listen to is, you can go ahead and introduce it if you want.
Louis Prima, the better the figure.
The bigger the figure.
The better the figure.
The bigger the figure.
Really?
Bigger the bigger.
Big. I always forget that. It's either I always remember it's either the better or the bigger. The bigger the figure.
Then we're gonna blow Desperate Time by Ozone, and then Daft Punk's Harder Better Faster, and following up with Bismarcky's Just a Friend. Going from your list, man.
Ooh.
Going from your list. All these are Caleb recommendations.
I need to make up another list for that.
Yes, you do, because this music I got to go through this, and I got to thin it out sometime. Got to do that from time to time. We don't have that many shows left. But either way, so coming your way right now, Louis Prima and his orchestra, The Bigger the Figure, followed by all those other songs I said. Thank y'all for listening. I appreciate you. Listen to all the above here on KRU Kansas City, UMKC, student radio every Thursday from 5 to 7 p.m. My name is Jacob.
And I'm Caleb, and I'm going to be singing along to the song.
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so my headphones are acting
Just
up.
got a friend.
Just got a friend. God dang it. Okay, my headphones are being weird. But yeah, so we were blaring that. That was amazing.
The pre-dental students kept looking at us.
Looking at us like, man. And they're laughing because we dancing. We play Numa Numa. We keep the headphones on. We go boom boom. Anyway, so it's
I stared at one girl while singing.
Yo, got what I need. Come on, blah blah blah. You're really gonna be like that, blah blah blah. Okay, so
If you haven't seen the music video for that, I suggest it.
Apparently, your little Martian did. Your favorite Martian.
Yeah,
did a cover of it. Your little Martian.
That sounds like
a little Martian. Look at her.
Sounds like an innuendo for something.
Whoa. Okay, so we're going to try to get through the second half of the Epic Rap Battle of History Season 2. It's the longest season by far. We have made it all the way up to Doctor Who versus Doc Brown. Now, the one we're going to do is Bruce Lee versus Clint Eastwood.
Oh.
Caleb, you start.
I remember this one, too.
Yeah. I like this one.
Bruce Lee had great lines.
Uh-huh.
Really great lines. But just as so did Clint Eastwood's It's the man with no names character, because that's who they went with.
Yeah, that's who they went with instead of like the whole like get off my lawn.
The Gran Torino Clint Eastwood.
They went with man with no name, which I think was a good choice.
Yeah, I'm going with the man with no name. They portrayed his character well, and I loved his lines. Even the snaps, even the getting back from like the insults from Bruce Lee.
Yeah. I have to agree. I mean, both were amazing. They did a good job on both. I even watched the behind the scenes, and the guy who played Bruce Lee, they had to teach him how to sound Asian. Literally. Nice Peter and Epic Lloyd had to teach him the stereotypical way to talk like an Asian man. So he could rap like an Asian man. And even I don't know.
An awkward conversation at the beginning.
Yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that. I think Clint Eastwood won. Next, this one was controversial for me, mainly because I'm a fan of both, and I'm not sure I liked either performance as much as I could have. Batman versus Sherlock Holmes. Batman as well as Batman and Robin, because Robin showed up. And Sherlock Holmes had... oh, God, what is his name? No.
Watson?
Yes!
I'm a fan of both.
What's
his name?
I'm horrible with names, okay? I know enough to know that I did appreciate the way that they began the second verse for Sherlock Holmes, doing the whole retrospective slow motion, like piecing everything together thing. They really were faithful on that. That comes straight from modern Sherlock. But they went with the Christian Bale Batman, which
I'm surprised they didn't go with Adam West.
Yeah, I mean, it was coming out with the Dark Knight Rises and all that stuff. Just because of the way they did Batman, like they did good with Sherlock Holmes, not as good as they could have, but I'm gonna say, in my opinion, I'm gonna say that Sherlock Holmes and Watson won. Just because I really don't like the gargling marbles Batman, and Robin was just plain annoying. I know that was the point, but that just deteriorates like the Thing 1 and Thing 2 for me. Yeah, so that's how I think Sherlock Holmes had good lines. I think they both had good lines, but I was not overly impressed with this one.
I have to go with Sherlock Holmes. I remember I only watched this once because I thought it was terrible. The gurgling, the Christian Bale Batman didn't bother me that much. I really thought they were going to go with, like,
Adam West.
or who played Batman with Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr.
That was
Freeze?
Clint Eastwood. No, that was George Clooney.
George Clooney. Even George Clooney, because there's so much to make fun of the George Clooney Batman movies.
Yeah.
Bat credit card, bat nipples.
Yeah, that's the... Never leave the cave without it. God.
Those, because the fans tore the George
Yeah.
Clooney one up, and I thought they would just use that one, because there's a lot of things to make fun of.
Yeah, but they went with the one that's most popular for then.
Currently.
Yeah, so...
Adam West is still my favorite Batman.
Yeah, and of course, the guy from just Batman, the Tim Burton one,
Yeah.
he was good. He was, like, a lot of people did not think he was going to do good. They did not see him as that, and then he turned out to be the best one for a lot of people, and I like him very much because as Bruce Wayne, you would not expect that. It's supposed to be secretive. He was very inward, whereas, like, for the Dark Knight, they were very give a speech and talk and whatnot. For him, he kept a lot of it inside. So that's why, I'm skeptical about the new one.
Gotham?
No, for Batman and Superman.
Batman versus Superman?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the guy's name. He played Daredevil.
Oh.
There's this, Batfleck,
Yeah.
Ben Affleck. I'm skeptical. I don't think... he's done good before. He did not do good as Daredevil. I did not like that movie. But I think...
I think the movie was just kind of poorly written.
Yeah, that's why I'm skeptical.
Especially since it spawned off Elektra's movie.
Yeah, I'm going to treat it like the one from the Tim Burton one, where a lot of people did not like the idea of him being Batman until they saw him. I think they have a lot of stuff to work with to make him a good Batman. Good writing, good sets. I mean, the sets and props look amazing. Have you seen those pictures? Mm-hmm. So that's not what we're talking about. The next one is Moses, as played by Snoop Lion, versus Santa Claus.
You're one of the few people who remembers that he changed his name.
Yeah.
Just something apropos. I'm just waiting for, in the 4th season, they're probably going to have Deadpool versus someone, because Deadpool's movie's coming out soon.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
And they could either mess that up entirely, or it will be amazing.
Or it'll be amazing. And think about Death Battle. A lot of people have wanted Deadpool versus Dante from Devil May Cry. That'd be interesting.
It would be.
Anyway.
But I feel like it might end up like Batman versus, or not Batman, Goku versus Superman.
Yeah. So Moses versus Santa Claus. Your turn.
I went the last time.
No,
I went
you
with
didn't.
Clint Eastwood. I liked Santa better. He had better lines, and it seemed like they were banking a lot on having Snoop Lion be Moses.
Yeah, it was pretty much Santa versus Snoop Lion.
Yeah. They didn't really change his jokes. You could have just put Snoop Lion there and had the exact same jokes.
Santa Claus versus Snoop Lion. That type of
It
thing.
wouldn't have made sense, but
No, but, Billy Mays versus Ben Franklin.
both were salesmen.
John Lennon versus Bill O'Reilly.
Social advocates?
You're stretching it, man. You're stretching. Anyway, so your vote is Santa?
Yeah.
I agree. Basically for the same reason. It was not Moses versus Santa. It was Snoop Lion versus Santa. And even then, while they both did good, and they obviously Snoop Lion, he's a career rapper for a reason. He had good lines, but I just think as far as ooh factors concerned, Santa won it for me. Next one is Adam versus Eve. I hate this one.
Yeah.
I hate it. It's nicknamed Man versus Woman because
It's
it
the
isn't.
first man versus the first, well, depending on what religious doctrine you go from.
Yeah. Well, it's nicknamed Man versus Woman just because they did not really. They did a couple times, but most of their lines were based on the fact that it was stereotypical man versus stereotypical woman. And
Even their ending was.
yeah, it had nothing to do with Adam and Eve. But that's not
that's my vote. No to the whole thing.
no to the whole thing. We have to pick a winner.
No.
We have to pick a winner.
Stain. None of their lines were clever.
Do you want to make an abstain rule?
Yeah.
So am I. No one won that one.
No one.
No one. So I'll go first. This next one, Gandhi versus Martin Luther King Jr. It was so freaking cool seeing Key and Peele in there. I'm a huge fan of Coach Hines, so just having that in there, it was cool. I really liked it. This was like one of the only ones to break from the verse, end mold at the time. Not a lot of them had, unless it was some super special event. Just had to get that in there. I think Gandhi won this one because I don't know what it is, but I think the character was a little easier to express. Martin Luther King Jr.'s lines seem to be a little more have to be respective, but keep it restrained. He could not go all out with it. Like, I admire the way you broke the British power. Already, that's not a burn. But I have a dream one day you take a shower. It's not exactly a burn. It's more like, you're cool, but that type of thing. And that just seemed to be his general thing throughout. That and Gandhi's ending line just killed it for me. We can't say it on the air, but that won it for me. I have to go with Gandhi.
I thought that was Martin Luther King's line.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
I'm celibate because I don't give a frack.
Oh, I was thinking of a different one.
No.
Oh, mine was Martin Luther King.
Oh.
And personally, because the character, he was very respectful. If you watch any of the things, and he.
I know.
Huh. I know you know.
Paint me like I'm not freaking.
I'm not talking to you. There's like not 1,000. There's people listening to this.
like that. I'm not talking to you.
I ain't talking to you. He's very respectful, and he did go off of the person he's fighting. So it's not like other people where they could dig into each other as much. It's like you rapping against your idol, trying to burn your idol. And that's one of the reasons. But he still had very good lines in that.
Yeah, I'm not saying he sucked.
Which is why I chose him, because it just felt like better portrayal of the character. And I loved some of his lines. Like, I got so much street cred, my name is on the signs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, as far as getting Gandhi's character right, he could get very disrespectful with his speech. If you've ever read it, he was racist, first of all. So I'm surprised they didn't touch on that. I don't know. I just like Gandhi better.
He was racist. I think one of the things is he might have been gay, too.
I don't know. But either way, the next one that you're starting on this one is Nikola Tesla versus Thomas Edison.
I like this one. It's always that bit of the toss-up, because they went with internet Nikola Tesla instead of the real Nikola Tesla, because they didn't touch on the fact that, like, he believed in eugenics, and
a lot of people did. I mean, California post World War II was way about that.
Yeah. But they went with the, like, he was this all, like, totally good person, didn't, like, touch on any of his faults.
Edison mentioned them.
Yeah, Edison, but not a lot. He didn't touch on it. He mainly defended himself, or like said, or went with his achievements, which is kind of how Edison was as a
Yeah.
person.
He also he insulted Tesla's intelligence. He said that Tesla just didn't know what he was doing. All this
I think
stuff.
his nationality
Yep.
one line
Mm-hmm.
is Serbian.
Yeah. So, what's your verdict?
The ending, it's a toss-up because I like Edison throughout most of it. The ending, though, Nikola Tesla took. Overall, I think this is hard. I'm gonna have to go with Edison in one because they portrayed his character well, and his burns were better. Even portraying one of his experiments as he did it in there.
Oh, it's my turn. I have to go with Tesla. I personally liked his lines better. I think he was a much smoother. He was
Smooler.
He was smoother in his delivery. I think he, obviously there's the whole thing of it being the internet Tesla versus that one, but, and I harp a lot on character portrayal. If you're going from the idea of it being the internet's idea of Tesla, then they portrayed that character really well. And a lot with Edison, we know he was arrogant, we know a lot about that stuff, but there are also a lot of things that are assumed about people just from back then. I think Edison, a lot of his lines banked on, I'm so good and you're stupid. Whereas Tesla seemed to go from what the internet sees of him being this advocate, this could have done so much but was squandered by the evils of blah, blah, blah. I just liked his lines better. I think he had a better delivery, and the guy that got to play him did not do his lines. It was Nice Peter rapping as Nikola Tesla, but they got a guy who looked remarkably like Nikola Tesla to portray him in the video. That's just a cool little note. It has nothing to do with my reasoning. But I personally have to go with Tesla. Next one is one that I may or may not have actually played on here before. It's in the list, so I don't know if I did or not. But you know my answer for this one, so you're going first. And it's your turn.
I went last time.
You did?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll just say my answer immediately. Babe Ruth versus Lance Armstrong. Babe Ruth won it, hands down. He was the funniest. He had a better character portrayal. Lance Armstrong was pretty much just angry white man. It was just Nice Peter in an outfit. He didn't even get into much. He had no costuming almost, other than that outfit. He had an interesting flow, but even Babe Ruth with his unorthodox style seemed very close to the character he was, very stylized, funny as hell, and the last line just won it for me. So Babe Ruth won it in my mind.
I didn't know it was coming up, but knowing that one, and I do believe we did play it at one point.
Yeah.
I have to go with Babe Ruth again.
As well.
As well. It's the words I was looking for.
Yes.
But for the same reasons, and really just seemed like a poor matchup at that.
Yeah. For the sake of time, we're going to try to speed through these ones. Of course, the last one's going to be hard. Next one is Mozart versus Skrillex. I went first last time.
Mozart versus Skrillex. I have to go with Mozart. Personally, I thought his lines were clever, pulling out even musical terms to him, and it really seemed to get more to. It really seemed more to bother Skrillex than any of Skrillex's insults did to Mozart.
Yeah. Mozart, I also have to agree. Mozart seemed very close to the character. They did a lot of research on Mozart. He was, in real life, obsessed with toilet jokes and poop, and they mentioned it in the lines, but Mozart was not completely ignorant of Skrillex's way of doing music either. He insulted his intelligence. He insulted the way he does his music. He seemed very on top of it, and his ending line was amazing. So the last one we got to do here is there's 5 contestants. 5 contestants, and you know which one I'm talking about. Rasputin versus Stalin, and also in contesting is... Whoa. Oh, sorry, my headphone thing has been acting up. Rasputin, Stalin, Putin, Gorbachev, and Lenin. Those 5 contestants are the ones we have to choose from. And
This was personally my favorite battle because I just thought it was hilarious how they introduced characters.
yeah.
Did somebody say birthmarks?
Yeah.
I like going down. If I have to make a list,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to go with, I thought Putin won because his lines were funny.
Mm-hmm.
And just the way they portrayed him, which was kind of just like emotion, like
Yeah.
Buster Keaton, like where
Yeah.
he's just like,
Oh, you want to mess with me? Yeah.
but I'd have to go Putin won. Then underneath him would be Lenin because I liked Lenin's lines as well, and then Gorbachev, Stalin, and Rasputin.
I have to agree that Rasputin was definitely the most underutilized character. There is so much they could have done with Rasputin, and I was so excited, and then they squandered it. They even repeated a line. You're from Georgia, sweet Georgia. That's a waste of syllables. That was a waste of time.
Yeah.
So Rasputin definitely lost the worst here. This one is very hard for me because as a history buff, which is why I was like, you acting like I don't know about Martin Luther King, god dang it. A lot of these characters, these are interesting for me. I'd say the next worst would probably have to be, and I hate to say this, Gorbachev. Because out of all these people, he's probably the one I like the most just as a person. But the reason I have to say is because while he had great lines, he just some about him just seemed like they were trying to really make him goofy. And while he
kind of character, what do you call it? A caricature of him,
Yeah.
like with the giant birthmark, because he
yeah,
had
they
one.
were trying to put ERB on there, and then they screwed it up, so they just sort of smeared it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Gorbachev is the fourth, number 4 for me. Then when it comes down to Putin, Stalin, and Lenin, this is where our disagreement comes in. Let me write it down here. Next in line for me would be Putin. While I really enjoyed his portrayal, and by no means am I saying that he did bad, I just like the other 2 better.
Yeah.
And when it comes down to Lenin versus Stalin, they really did a good job of portraying Stalin as this cruel, cold person. He had a lot of good, just like, very good lines. And then Lenin was also very strong, very characterized, very stylized with the red coating and all that stuff. Very cool. I have to say the winner between Lenin and Stalin, in my mind, is Lenin. I think Lenin won this one, but that's by no means saying that the others did bad. So in my list, it's Lenin 1, Stalin 2, Gorbachev 3, Putin 4, Rasputin 5. So we agreed on number 5. But now it's time for music. And I can play the Babe Ruth one, so I'm going to do that. Babe Ruth versus Lance Armstrong. That'll be the first song you hear. Then Voulez-Vous by ABBA. And that's probably going to be the only songs you're going to hear for now, because we got to start going into the Bunk Buster at that time. So thank y'all for listening to all of the above here on KRU Kansas City OMKC Student Radio every Thursday from 5 to 7 p.m. Oh gosh, I just saw a glimpse at the fairy guy outside. He's still there, by the way. We've been trying to ignore him. He is still standing there, and most of the people outside are gone except for the pre-dental people. They're just sort of laughing at us and just waiting, just like him, Just waiting. So, Epic Rap Battles of History. Thank y'all for listening. I'm Jacob.
I'm Caleb.
And
that's the ferryman.
that's the ferryman.
The ferryman.
The ferryman. Better not.
You remembered to lock that door, right?
Quick side note. I don't like that one.
Neither do I.
Get by the microphone.
Neither do I.
Thank you.
No!
Okay, we got the Bunkbuster time, and
from here.
we did. It was Caleb's turn last time, but he's volunteered to do it again. So, yeah. Okay.
Let me grab my articles.
I told you specifically this is what we were about to do, and you didn't get prepared. What kind of unprofessional are you?
A good one?
I know.
You talk while I do this.
Okay. Well, basically, in case y'all don't know, this is how we end the show. At the end of every show, one of us, and it alternates, one of us presents two articles, one of which is real, one of which is fake, and the other one has to guess which one is the real and fake one. We used to have awards for this, but then we are both poor, so we couldn't. But it's still a fun little thing to do, and maybe we get a little extra cheese in the bread next semester when we're actually getting paid for this. Might be able to do it. You got the articles ready there, Caleb?
Yep.
All right. Hit it with a first article, man.
Both in Florida, both involving drunk men.
Go figure, go figure.
A drunk man arrested for disorderly behavior when he assaulted a fake alligator that's used to scare off wild animals from a pond near a woman's home. At 9 p.m., he called the police saying that a man was wandering about her property and told them that he was going towards the pond, not wanting him to drown. And he asked them to hurry. It was just a loud noise of ask. Asked them to hurry. He was arrested when he was found wailing on a fake alligator head. You know, like the one that they got on Rhett and Link.
Yeah.
One of those things. And the next one is... Damn it. Swiping. Drunk Florida man tries to use a taco as an ID after his car lights on fire in a Taco Bell parking lot.
Go on.
That's it. That's all I have.
Really?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, it would have been much better if I could find both the articles. But
because the internet. Well, I can see both happening, and you said you had two real ones, so I'm reckoning that one of these has really happened, but you just changed something about it. I don't know. I mean, they both seem pretty tight, except for the second one that had, like, nothing on it. By default, I'm going to have to say the second one... I'm going to say the second one actually happened.
The second one did actually happen.
Yeah!
A drunk man fell asleep in the drive-thru of a Taco Bell after getting his food. He did not pull out of the drive-thru, that's why the police were called. Mm-hmm. His car lit on fire in the meantime, and he stumbled out. And when the police asked him for an identification, he showed them a taco.
I had a feeling.
Just type in drunk Florida man ID taco, and you'll get the article.
I was like, was I even close about, like, the second one sort of happened? No? Completely made up?
Yeah, completely made up. Like in the last 3 seconds.
Well, not bad. I mean, I saw right through it, but not bad.
I saw right through it. That's why I had to... You were about to say the second one was false.
I was leading you on, man.
You can lie to me, but you can't lie to the people.
You can lie to me, but you can't lie to the people. To them peoples. To them peoples.
Vox Pox, as it's...
To what?
The voice of the people.
Oh. Yeah.
If I even said that right.
I'm not sure, man.
Vox Populi, I think.
I mean, that's people. Populi.
I think Vox is voice.
Ah.
Voice of the people. 2 years of Latin, and I can't remember what voice is.
You took Latin in high school?
Yeah.
Huh.
Mr. Green.
I didn't know we had Latin at our high school.
You didn't come until it was over. He retired when the year you came.
And the class retired with him.
Yeah,
'Cause no one else knows
no
Latin.
one, no one else could teach Latin. Because really, that class, if we're just gonna fill up time, that class, our valedictorian, which was Tristan.
Valedictorian.
I spoke Latin, not Greek. Was in that class with me, Tristan Abbott.
Mm-hmm.
He was so far ahead, and Mr. Green did not care. It was like a college class. Tristan was asleep on the floor most of the time. We made Nate and I made a flag, a Roman platoon flag that we hung up next, because it was also the French room, so we hung it up next to the French flag. And someone made an entire Roman fort in Minecraft and turned it in for credit.
Did it do well?
Yeah.
Nice.
Got like I believe a B on authenticity.
Nice. That's pretty cool, actually. I mean, was Mr. Green that kind of cool guy? Or?
Yeah, he was. We watched a funny thing happened on the way to the forum for a class and a Doctor Who episode.
Nice. Man, what was I not there for?
Because there's not a lot of movies that accurately portray.
Got a point. Hey. The fairy guy's gone.
And the lights are off. Well, that's because it's like.
Well, it's late and. Yeah.
Everyone kind
of left. I mean, at least the station lights are on still, so that's good. What? Up, Caleb.
What?
Why'd you turn the lights off?
I didn't turn the lights off. I can't reach the light switch from my station.
But I mean, I can understand the lights being off out there, but we had a light on just now, and what the?
I don't know. Are they on a timer?
They've never been before.
Maybe we have to move or something.
I mean, well, that didn't work, whatever that was. And I can't exactly see what you did there, but it sounded certainly interesting.
It sounded like I moved.
Wait a minute. Okay, I know you asked this before jokingly, but like, I didn't lock the door. I mean, you're supposed to lock the door when we come in here. You go lock the door.
Look, do you know how hard it is to move through this room in the dark?
Dude, you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Careful, man. I don't know what you're doing.
Door's locked.
Door's locked now?
Yeah, the door's locked.
So it hasn't been locked?
No, it has not been locked.
Did you see the fairy guy go anywhere?
No, but for some reason the cabinet is closed. It's never closed.
Well, I'm not doing it. You're closer.
Closer.
You want to check out that cabinet?
I locked the door.
You locked the door? Did you? You didn't even put the light switch when you were over here. Did you?
No.
You didn't try?
I don't know where the light switch is.
Got a point. We should...
I'm not opening it in the dark.
You're not opening it in the dark.
I've seen what's in there.
Yeah, like microphone equipment.
Microphone equipment, and all of it not very well stacked.
Got a point. I don't want to deal with that, so...
It's a good thing we have the monitors for a bit of light.
Why are you doing that, Caleb?
I'm not doing that. Why are you doing it, then?
I'm not doing it either. Caleb?
What?
Stop joking.
I don't... My laptop's not on. I can't do this.
Caleb?
Yeah?
Is it on your phone?
No, my phone's off. Should be using it for light.
Oh, God.